Welcome to the Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw, author, body confidence coach, and founder of The Embodied Woman and 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. You'll also find me on the yoga mat hosting retreats here in Australia and internationally. Each week, I chat with incredible women around self-belief, body acceptance, and embracing who we are, especially in midlife. We share real stories, challenge outdated beauty standards, and grow together through honest conversations. I am so glad you are here. Enjoy. The Embodied Woman Workshop. Are you ready to reclaim your confidence, gain more clarity, and of course, energy in midlife? I have got a beautiful invitation for you, my friend. I'm about to start the powerful 8-week journey for midlife women who are ready to reconnect with their body, calm their mind, and trust themselves again. Learning beautiful, intuitive processes, starting to heal that relationship with ourselves, letting go of that inner critic. Also gathering with other women, like-minded women who love to have a laugh, have real conversations and connect. This beautiful workshop starts on May the 7th and goes for 8 weeks. So if you are ready to take the next step and join me, come along. There is a link in the show notes. And if you'd love to reach out and have a chat about this workshop, please do. More than happy to answer any questions. I look forward to seeing you in the Embodied Woman Workshop. A big warm welcome to this week's episode of Celebrate a Sister podcast. Today I'm joined by a dear friend. Let me introduce you. Kylie Upton is a soulful force. She runs the White Snake Yoga. She is a Kundalini practitioner, a gong whisperer, a modern day snake charmer, and a planetary server. With a deep reverence for energy, sound, and spirit, Kylie helps others awaken their inner wisdom through ancient practices and vibrational healing. Her presence is powerful. I always say actually magnetic, and you're gonna feel her essence through this podcast today. Her work is sacred and her mission is nothing short of transformational. Welcome, dear friend. Welcome.
Naam, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, Kai, I want you to please share with everyone. I've given your little bio, but I'd love to hear it from you. Firstly, for those who are new to Kundalini, and I was actually talking to a friend last night, and I said to her, oh my gosh, I've got my dear friend Kylie coming on. We're talking about Kundalini. And my girlfriend's actually Italian. She said, sounds like a pasta. Kundalini. Sounds like a pasta. We laughed. So can you tell us about Kundalini? And no, for our listeners, it's not a pasta. Tell us about Kundalini.
Yeah, I love the idea, though. Maybe we could do a Kundalini class and include pasta buffet or something, or incorporate a cooking class. Kundal, the word kundal means coiled. We all have Kundalini energy, and it sits dormant at the lower part of our spine, at the fourth vertebrae. It sits coiled. What is it? It's our infinite creative potential. It's different to our chi that we hold in the solar plexus. It's something different, but an innate, inherent energy that we hold. And so through Kundalini Yoga, where the intention is to excite the Kundalini energy at the lower part of our spine. We do that through breath, movement, posture, mantra, eye gazes, mudra. And when the Kundalini energy uncoils, it's rising up the spinal column. So as you exercise, move, breathe, do everything we ask you to do, the energy is rising up the spinal column and it's clearing blocks. You will feel something. Some people see colors. Some people have a real experience. They get tingles. They might feel lighter. Some emotion might be released. It's just a beautiful, cohesive practice.
It is gorgeous. And on the weekend, I had the pleasure and the honor of joining your beautiful Kundalini class. The first thing that was said with the women that joined after the class was, where did that 90 minutes go? Like the time space just goes. And I know that for some people, they go, oh my gosh, 90 minutes in a Kundalini yoga class or a yoga class. But that was the fascinating thing, how quickly it went, how incredibly joyful it was. And I love that feeling of being present, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the to-do list, being absolutely anchored in the moment. And that was what I experienced, which I absolutely loved. And even this morning before we hit record, I said to you, oh my gosh, I was sitting at coffee this morning with Husboss and saying, today is Tuesday. I did that with you on Sunday. And I said to Husboss, gee, we had a great weekend. And when I shared that with you, you said to me, there's an afterglow for 72 hours. Oh my gosh, I'm like your star student. I've got the afterglow 72 hours later.
Right, right. It feels like a rebirthing every time I practice. And around Easter time, I tend to offer some rebirthing classes. And I say Jesus was in a cave for 3 days, 72 hours, and then he was reborn. So the practice that we do, it's still marinating and ruminating in the aura there for 72 hours. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Some classes can be quite challenging, some can be quite hard from time to time, not always, but it is so worthwhile because you feel amazing afterwards.
Mm. And that's the thing, isn't that our birthright to find things that light up our soul? And I love the fact that it's just good, wholesome, beautiful fun that, like you say, because it's got mantra, the music, and that was the other comment a lot of the women were saying on Sunday after your class was, oh my gosh, how beautiful is that music? And there's a bit of singing, which I think is really gorgeous, the breath work, the movement. It really is the perfect combination to release any stress, anxiety, and as you speak a lot about too, is calm the nervous system.
Yes. It really does. And the music and the chanting was the reason I fell deeply in love with Kundalini yoga. And the reason it works is because we have 82 pressure points on the roof of our mouth. And as we're chanting and repeating, and sometimes for 3 minutes, sometimes for much longer, we've been known to chant for 2.5 hours from time to time. But your tongue is moving and striking the pressure points for a given period of time in a certain pattern. You're rewiring the brain, you're stimulating the glandular system, you're balancing the endocrine system, and you're bringing the nervous system into balance. That's why chanting and singing in general feels so good.
Yes. And accompanied with movement and breath, just the perfect recipe. And that's how you describe it to me. You've described it to me as in Kundalini has certain recipes or certain um, sequence of patterns that we do, which is just incredible. And like you said to me, it's got an intelligence to it. And that's what you feel. Well, that's exactly what I felt. Wonderful.
I feel smarter when I practice Kundalini yoga. And I love looking around the room and I just think, oh my God, don't you just feel more intelligent with all these beautiful yogis? It's a very intelligent practice. It is a science, it's a technology. We do refer to it as a technology, actually. It's known colloquially as the yoga of awareness and awareness. So that inner eye gaze, the closing down of the eyes and just going internal and being within, that's a gift in and of itself.
Mm. Yes.
It is the yoga for the householder. It's meant to be manageable. I can't remember a time that I've been on the mat and not been interrupted. Someone comes to the door, I've got to let the dog out. The- you just get back on the mat and you keep going. It's designed for the glass holder. And a friend of mine is practicing a Kriya for a very long period of time. She's striving for 1,000 days, and she will complete it. But this meditation takes 2.5 hours a day. She breaks it up. She does an hour in the morning, half an hour at lunch, and an hour in the evening. And that's how she's going to attain mastery of this particular meditation. So when we say it's designed for the householder, it you make it fit in with you,
Mm,
which I really love.
yeah.
Also, it's the yoga of the Aquarian age, this time now, this divine portal that is going to be very hard and challenging for a lot of people. Nervous systems are going to be stressed and strained. No doubt about it. The kiddies that are coming to the planet are wired very, very differently to how we were, how our children were. These souls incarnating on the planet now, they're wired very, very differently and actually more cleverly designed to cope with this digital age. This Aquarian age, now the patriarchy has fallen and we are the masters of our own domain. We need tools. It's a real science and a yogi toolkit. It has everything we need.
It is fabulous. So, for anyone listening, if you have never known about Kundalini or haven't tried it, give it a go. Just see how it feels for you. Yeah, it's something you have to try on a few times, I feel. Yeah. Now, Kai, you know my work is a lot about body acceptance and body confidence. I wanted to talk about your transformation that you've had personally with Kundalini and how your relationship with yourself and your body has shifted through your yoga practice and how your relationship with self has shifted over time, being a woman, a mother, a business owner, all of the things that come along with it. What has been your journey with that, with your relationship with self and your body?
Well, I don't think that I could have been the mother that I am, the business owner that I am, the yogi practitioner that I am, or the yoga instructor that I am without Kundalini yoga, or actually yoga or breath and movement in general. And I'm 53 years old now, and I feel more comfortable in my body now than I have in a long while. I used to feel very strong and fit and focused. And when I found Kundalini Yoga in 2014, Emma, I had mercury poisoning. So I had been very, very unwell. And I was trying all kinds of holistic and allopathic treatments to recover. And I was physically-ish detoxing slowly but steadily. What was not happening for me was the recovery of my cognition. I still had terrible brain fog. My speech was very, very badly impacted. And then I stumbled across a Kundalini yoga meditation. I didn't know it at the time. It rewires the brain and it clears out heavy metals from the brain and it repairs the limbic part of the brain and the frontal lobe of our brain. Saved me. And so then I went through a deep dive and Kundalini yoga became a regular part of my daily practice. I never intended to teach. Fast forward to 2020, I got another dental injury. You can't make it up. And I've lent so heavily on my daily practice. At the height of my dental injury, I didn't recognize this body. I felt like my body had betrayed me or I had betrayed it. We weren't in synergy. This body was foreign to me. I didn't feel like me anymore. And all I could do was get on that mat every day, even if it was for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'd just lie there and listen to a mantra.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I know those days. Yeah.
Was enough. And the days that I could do a little bit more, I did do a little bit more. And then I thought, This body, bless it. This mind, bless it. This soul, bless that too. It's a new dawn and a new day. And we've got to find a way to all get along. And the day I welcomed pain, because then I developed a chronic pain condition and neuroplasia and terrible nerve injury I suffered. But I remember the day I called in pain as my teacher, and I thought, you're here. And clearly you're in my body for a reason. There's a lesson here. Show me. Show me what it is. And I could feel it clearly because it was very painful. And I just had to learn to develop the mind and soul connection with the pain, and then learn to navigate this body, this mind, this spirit, and accept all that is. And my recovery has been so strong, and I feel like I'm very, very, very close to a full recovery. And I've fallen in love with my body all over again.
So beautiful.
I bless it. I think its capacity to heal, its capacity to recover, its capacity to communicate with my mind and soul, and my mind and soul's capacity to communicate with my body. It's a beautiful, blessed human experience, this experience of being human and the human being experience. And my body doesn't look like it did when I was 20 or 30, and it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It's healthy, and I love it very much.
That is beautiful. Kylie, I would say the same around my healing and coming back home to my body. Although I didn't have injury, I definitely have been on every diet under the sun and looked at her as separate, and a lot of head stuff, wanting to think or constrict or restrict my way to happiness. We're getting in our body, and you and I clearly here are absolute yoga lovers. Whether it be Kundalini or Hatha or whatever kind of yoga. But I'm wondering to the woman, or speaking to the woman who could be listening to this, if she's feeling separation, finding that thing where you can make that body mind connection. And for you and I, it's been yoga. Maybe for some people it's swimming, or it's running, or it's walking, or it's tennis, or whatever it is. But I do feel that there is a point where it is a wonderful coming together when we actually realize we're not separate from our body, and that union happens.
Yes. Well, yoga is union, and yoga is a very pure pathway to the mind, body, soul connection. If yoga's not for you, even a simple breath pattern, learning how to belly breathe or box breathe. There's so much available on podcasts and YouTube and, Spotify or whatever. There's something simple that I really love doing, and I'm a firm believer in morning sun, low angle sun. And within 15 minutes of waking, if you can get out and barefoot on the grass, if the grass is wet with morning dew, even better, because the fairies are still around. But bare feet, earth, morning sun. And what's very valuable is if that third eye point, that bone on our forehead is porous. It lets the light in. And you can really calibrate your glandular system by just being out in the morning sun and feeling alive. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. How blessed am I? Thank you. How can I serve?
Yes. I would have to say, I often say sun rises and sunsets are my jam. I absolutely love, and particularly this time of year, in summer, it's very, very early sunrise, but this time of year, all of us can catch that morning sun because it's at a really reasonable time if you're not overly a morning person. But even so, if your sleep is a little bit out, studies know that you exactly what you're saying, how we get that sunlight on our face, in our eyes, our third eye, around 14 hours later, you can't help but fall asleep because you've set this beautiful rhythm in your body. And for us midlife women who potentially have a little bit of sleep stuff, this is a great way to be able to help your rhythm, get your rhythm into flow. So beautiful. And the grounding. It is, yeah, it is all of these. And that is, in a way, yoga. It's acting in a yogic union way. Like you said, the meaning of yoga is union. It's yoga off the mat in union with yourself, your body, mind, and soul. So beautiful. I love sharing that. You sharing that.
Thank you. And for for those that recognize that they might be experiencing a disconnect in the body, the feet are very important. It's the metaphor for the soul, SOLE, SOUL, doesn't matter how you spell it.
Yeah.
Um, Either give yourself or pay someone to give you a foot massage. I've got a beautiful copper foot bath and just a copper bowl, and I can put salts or oils or fresh herbs or something in there, and I can do it while I'm watching TV. And then just rub my feet with a bit of oil or a beautiful cream and just really massaging my feet helps a lot. So that period when I was injured and I had this disconnect, the feet got a lot of attention because it was me coming back into my body. It's tactile and it's an act of self-love and self-nourishment. The food that we eat, we want to be eating beautiful, ideally plant-based food, mostly plants. And again, it's if the more alive our food is, the more alive we will feel. And that beautiful act of nourishing and nurturing our bodies through our food. In the Kundalini lineage, we bless our food before we eat it, and it's usually the mantra Sat Naam 3 times. But anything prayerful or anything thank you, bless the farmers, or bless the soil, or bless the sun, or just an act of gratitude to bless our food before we eat it. And someone said to me once, "Oh, I can't afford to eat all organic." And I said, "It doesn't matter. Bless your food and raise the vibration of your food."
Mm. I love this practice. I've heard it. I don't believe I've overly practiced this, Kai. Thank you for the tips. So tips, bless our food, get the feet on the ground, or spend some time loving on your feet, and connection to soul. I love that. SOUL, SOLE, connect with your soul. Same what? It's just it's same but different. Same. Now, Kai, you just said Satnam. Are you happy to share with our listeners the beautiful meaning of Satnam and how that also plays a role in Kundalini?
Yes, if you come to class or if you watch anything online, you'll hear the mantra Sat, SAT, Naam, NAM often. Sat Naam, it's a blessing, but Sat means truth. Naam is name or identity. So when we say that or chant that, it's I am truth. My vibration is truth. Truth is my name. And it's bringing us back to the you within you or the me within me. It's bringing us back to the original you, how and why we came into this body on this planet in this timeline, the me within me, the original me, my soul, its purpose, why I came here, my karmas, my dharmas, my intention to serve, my gifts, my talents, my lessons.
Yeah. So Satnam is, yeah, truth is my name. This is my truth. It is very soul, when you're speaking through that, it's very soul nurturing or soul connection. There is no disconnect here. You're not looking outside of yourself. You're coming back home, and that constant gratitude, the blessing and the gratitude and the acceptance is just beautiful. A beautiful, peaceful practice.
Yes.
In a lot of sense.
It is, it's the reason I love the practice, and it's why it is the practice for the Aquarian age. We don't look outside to politicians or churches or other entities for mastery or direction. We come within. We go within. And the mantra that we use to tune in, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, I bow to the wisdom within. I bow to the creative wisdom within. I bow to the divine wisdom within. And we say that 3 times before every yoga class. So we're not out there honoring a guru or another teacher. I'm just a guide. I'm not a guru. I'm just a guide. I'm just there to show you the way. And you're going within.
That has been my biggest lesson as a midlife woman, is stopping my compulsion to look outside myself for the answers. Really stopping giving my power away and wanting someone else to fix me, because a deep sense of distrust. And I feel that's how yoga has really built my self-trust up, my self-reliance, my self-resilience, because for a long time, giving the power away, and it is a little bit the way that we've been raised, even thinking about as a child, we were told that the doctor was up there with God, different certain figures in our life. And even you mentioned church are up there, we're to follow these people. But as we do that, it just brings us further away from our Satnam, our truth that we are. So it is wonderful to come back home. And I often think when you're talking about these new children that are coming through, and I do feel that we're going to watch a crash of the education system is coming, because no longer does that model work anymore. I even look at my children who, I mean, Sunny was a school refuser in those late years, incredibly intelligent, and is, studying cybersecurity, and that regardless of that. But he was that school refuser because he said, why, when I can learn myself? He would come out with all of this information. I would say to him, where did you hear that from? And he said, oh, I watched this documentary on YouTube, or I did that, or do that. Our children are self-learners. I feel like they are the crashing of the looking outside of ourselves in so many ways. On one side of the pendulum is very empowering. On the other side of the pendulum, we still do have, a big vibe of beauty standards and diet culture and wellness industry that's a bit screwy. So everything's in equal measure. But I do feel there is a different shift around those of us who are ready to come back home and not give our power away, which is very refreshing and very exciting. And I feel that is the beautiful benefit of the practice of yoga and Kundalini. Now, Kai, I did want to talk about our recent trip together to India.
Oh, I'd love
So I did want to talk about that. So those of the listeners know that Yogi Louie and I host retreats to India, wholehearted retreats. And that's where Kai and I actually met, was together on this trip. So I still can't believe you said yes to coming with us, because I still remember just how excited and delighted I was. Not that we'd even met each other, but I was just so excited. And it was love at first sight for me. I was like, oh my God, this woman is incredible. So Kylie, I would love for you to share, what was India? You had been before in the past. And can you share with me your thoughts about India and how that has strengthened maybe your yoga practice, your sense of self? What is India for you?
Well, for me, thank you so much for having me on the Indian Yatra. And I think the first time we laid eyes on each other, it felt like, that scene in the cartoon where the love hearts just pop out of others' eyes. It was just
So beautiful.
I was just so happy to be there and to be one of 13 incredible powerhouse women who all just got along and we were all just in it to win it and so respectful to Mother India. And yes, I had been fortunate enough to visit India twice before. On both occasions, they were yoga related. So this was my third yoga trip to India, which I can't believe. And traveling with you and Yogi Lua, it was just so well organized and so well structured and so held together. There was the right amount of freedom and flexibility. The yoga practices and the 21 minutes of morning magic that we experienced each day just set the trajectory and the tone for the whole day, and everything just flowed from there on. I felt like the accommodation was just a beautiful standard and so well chosen and curated and gave us a real sense of each city that we visited. I love Indian people. I love the Indian culture. I love the land. I love the animals. I love the poo everywhere. I just think it's fantastic. So colorful. And what a teacher is Mother India. And I feel like anytime I get to go to visit the mother, when she calls, I go. And she called very loudly. And Yogi Louie had just been at one of my classes one morning. We were walking back to the car. I think she was carrying my gong or something. And I said, "You got any retreats coming up, darling?" And she said, "Actually, India, someone's just let us know that they're going to be unable to make it. So there's a room. Would you like it?" And I just said yes.
Brilliant.
And I'm on the expression of interest list for November. So I'm very, very much intending to join you guys again later in the year.
I know, which is so wonderful. So from your trip to India, because when you met us, you'd already been to Kolkata, which was sounded absolutely incredible. So from your recent trip, did you have a highlight? That's probably a big question, but did you have a highlight, anything that stuck out from the trip that just encapsulated all of India for you or the essence of India?
Yes, I mean the country, that's one thing, and the rituals and everything I love about India. But the answer to your question is the wholehearted women, the sisterhood. And when we all got to see each other on Sunday on class, not everyone could come along, but many of them made it. And someone traveled for 2 hours to get to class on Sunday because she just needed a reconnect. She just needed to plug back into that sisterhood that we had created. And it's very special. You can't buy that. You engineer it. It happens or it doesn't, and it happened for us, and how blessed were we?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That group of women, the energy and the gift that keeps on giving from that container. Every single woman just was such a pillar of strength, grace, love. It really was a dynamic trip. Like, imprinted on the heart forever. Forever.
And they are soul sisterhood connections that are imprinted on our soul forever. And we did a particular exercise one day. We were in between cities. It was a travel day. We were on the bus, and I think we were journeying for about 5 hours. I think we were traveling to Agra from memory. And you invited us to each stand up and go around the bus and take the opportunity to speak heart to heart, soul to soul with each sister, and including Niraj, our beautiful guide, who I love so much. The strength I see in you is. It was impactful.
Yeah.
It was so impactful. Thank you for that.
Oh, it was gorgeous. Just a gorgeous. I think the electricity and the heart, like wholehearted, the retreat was just, it was palpable. It really was absolutely gorgeous. So I want to thank you, my love, for being such a gorgeous instrument in that whole orchestra. It was just amazing. I know, because we were in harmony, in tune. It was just divine. Now, I also wanted to talk about, my love, you have got coming up, because I would love to share with our listeners. So on the Gold Coast, there is a beautiful Kundalini Yoga Immersion, and it is for nervous system, a beautiful clearing and upgrade for our health and our well-being. And that is happening on May the 17th and 18th. So if anyone's listening and you are on the Gold Coast, I am very honored to be speaking at this beautiful event. But Kai, who is it for?
Everyone. Yoga is for everyone. And it's not yoga all day, both days. It's a taste of Kundalini yoga and the kriyas, or the sets and meditations and mantra that we've chosen for Saturday the 17th and Sunday the 18th are specifically nervous system related. So you'll get to experience that calm, that activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, the management and toning of the vagus nerve, which is trendy and hot right now. And we all need to know about that. Anybody can come, whether you are a beginner or more experienced yogi. Even if you've never practiced yoga before, we will guide you through. And there'll be also some gongs, some sound healing masterclasses. You're offering your 21 minutes of morning magic, which is such a pure recipe, that winning trifecta of the yoga, the journaling, and the meditation. It just works. And 21 minutes is enough time each day. And what you share is so relevant. Thank you. Because that's enough time for you to really calm and tone the nervous system and do something that is fulfilling, soulful, nourishing, self-full. And anybody can do that. We all have 21 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I often say, if we don't believe we have 21 minutes, just check on your app how long you've spent on Instagram. Because it's really real for us, is the pull to social media, and it actually does the opposite to our nervous system often. So it's great. And 21 minutes is achievable for anyone. And yeah, it's accessible. It is just choosing you. I think that's and that's like, choosing to come to a beautiful weekend workshop. But I know that this beautiful Kundalini immersion, you can either come for just the Saturday or just the Sunday, or you can come for both days. But for our beautiful listeners, if you have not experienced Kundalini or sound healing or breath work, or if you have, definitely come and join us, because that is going to be so exciting. Kylie, you also have your beautiful white snake yoga, and you have an online membership as well. So where can people find you? I am going to put it in the show notes, but are you happy to share your offering for anyone who is ready to start to get a regular practice and start to explore this beautiful world? Or maybe they're ready to connect, or maybe there's some healing that they know needs to take place, and they've done the things like, the traditional stuff like psychology and a psychiatrist and all of that jazz. Maybe it would be lovely for you to please share where people can find you and what you have offering that is can be done in the luxury of their own home, or they can come and see you face to face.
Thank you. It's so my social is White Snake Yoga. And if you go to Instagram or Facebook, you'll see classes and events, an opportunity to work with me one-on-one if you feel that you're not quite ready to go to a class, or you're a little bit shy, or there's something personal. And privately, I work using Kundalini Yoga technology. I work with athletes, coaches, entrepreneurs, and creatives. The entrepreneurs, the athletes, and the creatives thrive with Kundalini Yoga because it's the mind, the spirit, the body. Any energetic or limiting beliefs that they're holding, we just crush them.
Brilliant.
We get past that so that they can be in their energetic flow, and that kundalini, that infinite creative potential, we really hone and harness that and make that grow. So also each Monday night I offer a 45-minute meditation class. So there's you can usually join live at about 6 p.m. on a Monday night, Queensland time. You allow about 45 minutes and you're just ready with your mat, your bolster, and your device so that you can Zoom in with me. People who can't join live, they wait for the recording and then that's emailed to their inbox. And it's very beautiful. We do movement, breath work, and a Kundalini meditation each week. And this week, for instance, we're doing a 4-minute breath pattern to boost the immune system and an 11-minute meditation for calm. And I love this meditation because it feels like you're levitating.
Mm.
It's sublime. And then in person, I teach on the Gold Coast, usually once a month at Tweed Heads, once a month or so at Mudgeeraba, once a month or so at Hope Island. From time to time, there's a workshop in my private residence, and that's astonishing because I have 7 gongs, so we can really go into
Gong it up. Gong it up, babe.
And gongs are, why do we use the gongs? They're instruments of higher consciousness. And the sound penetrates and it cuts through blocks and it calibrates the nervous system, which is why they're so impactful. So there's some in-person, some online opportunities, these events that I love to create and hold every so often, like this upcoming immersion on the 17th and 18th of May. It's just another opportunity for us to connect, have a laugh. What can go wrong?
What can go wrong? And I love what you say before we hit record. You said something to me, and I just love when you say this. Our auras need to mix. And I so love that. Gosh, I love that, Kylie, when you say that, because that is true. Our auras do need to mix. We need to get in person with people, and attending a class is absolutely the best way to do that. We need community. I think especially women in midlife, and I'm not saying men don't, but I mostly work with women. We need community. We need connection. We need to sit and breathe together and move together and then have coffee together, break bread together. It is essential for us. So to all of our beautiful women out there, I know it can be hard sometimes to actually step into a new yoga studio or step into a new room where you don't know people. But my goodness, it's worth it. It really is. I had the studio for 4 years, as you know, Kai, and I know it takes a lot of courage to step in there, but please know in the community world, you are so welcome. And even on retreats, wholehearted retreat, we had women that didn't even know each other. A lot of women didn't know each other, and the absolute connection and bond is unshakable. So I invite you, beautiful woman, if you are listening to us and say, where are my people? How do I make friends as an adult? It very well can happen like it did with Kylie and I, just love hearts out the eyes and you go, I've met my peoples. So please, if I can encourage you just to get amongst other women, it is so good for our soul. And there is lots of studies coming out talking about relationships and what is the biggest determiner of longevity. Yeah, it's great to have a great diet. It's great to move our body, but at the end of the day, it's about relationships. And I will always say this, I'm actually the richest woman ever because of the richness of my relationships. That's what it's all about, huh? So that's what I think I love about the community is friendship and connection, breathing, moving, connecting together. Yeah.
It's how we regulate. We have to co-regulate. No man is an island. We do not heal. We do not thrive in isolation. It's not possible. We need each other. We are a community, and we need. It can be a little bit vulnerable sometimes to put ourselves
Yeah.
out there. And to find your tribe is the biggest blessing that we can give ourselves.
Yeah, it is. My darling Kylie, thank you from the bottom of my heart, my love, for coming on the podcast today and chatting to everybody. And all of the links will be in the show notes. So if you are on the Gold Coast, most definitely come and join Kylie and I on the 17th and 18th of May. And like I said, she's also online, or you can see her in person, but definitely connect in. And those of you who don't live near us, definitely try Kundalini Yoga. It is wonderful. 72-hour afterglow. Who wouldn't want that? The gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, dear friend, from the bottom of my heart. I love you to bits.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you.